This artwork, called Madonna of the Slum, is a painting by Vicente Manansala. It is considered a key modernist painting of the 1950s. It belongs to the National Museum collection. Madonna of the Slums, Vicente Manansala is famous for his own style of art, which is bringing the provincial and city lives together or separately to show their differences and reflection of reality. He uses his subject as a symbolism of a thing that represents mainly the barrio or the provincial life, like the jeepneys and Calabao. His artwork, Madonna of the Slums, pictures a woman bearing a child as a subject. Was clearly shown in the picture together with the houses most commonly found in slum areas or highly populated residential areas as a background. The woman in the canvas is Madonna, and the child is her son or daughter. According to my research, they both stay in the slum where they manage to find a living. The people in this specific area experience being left by the continuous change in the society. Madonna of the Slums express sadness. It also portrays the truth about all these people. They live in poverty. When I first glanced in this artwork, I can preliminarily assess that this talk about the mother and her child, poorly living in the slums of the city, but there are deeper meaning behind it. This artwork, called The Philippine Artist by Fernando Amorsolo. It was a portraitist and painter of rural landscapes. He is the best known for his craftsmanship and mastery in the use of light. Fernando Amorsolo was born May 30, 1892. In the Poco district of Manila. The painting shows the three women, namely Marcela Marino de Agoncillo, refers as the mother of the Philippine flag. Fernando Amorsolo made this painting to show the citizen of the Philippines of how the Philippine flag was made and to remind them tradition and customs that we did not realize it becomes faded. The making of Philippine flag is a masterpiece painted by Fernando Amorsolo in the Philippines. Is one of the most important artwork of our country because it symbolizes our culture. At the same time, it shows the craftsmanship of our fellow Filipinos ancestors. Based on my own perception, the artwork of Fernando Amorsolo, making of the Philippine flag, inspires me to pursue my dream and take my career seriously to honor our fellow Filipino ancestor who bravely fought for our country. This artwork, called The Oriental Fan by Benedicto Cabrera, better known as Ben Cab, is a figurative painter from the Philippines. He is recognized as a pioneer of Philippine art. Ben Cab paintings often depict figures wrapped in glowing fabrics in muted tone and earthy color palettes. Cabrera was born in Malabon, Philippines. Throughout his childhood, Ben Cab was exposed to the world of art. He was influenced by his older brother, Salvador Cabrera, who has already an established artist. At the age of 7, Ben Cab began to paint on pavements and walls. During high school, Ben Cab continued pursuing his interest in visual arts and drew illustration and portraits for his peers. In this series of work, Ben Cab's using colonial photography as his main source of inspiration. The work is a nod toward the artist's nostalgia for his homeland. While living in Europe, Ben compound rare Filipino prints and photographs in antique markets and bookshops. He began to use sepia tone imagery of colonial iconography as a reference to create a series of arsenic paintings. Larawan has been exhibited in various shows throughout Europe. When the work was shown in 1972 at the Luz Gallery in Manila, the critical success of the exhibition established him as an influential artist among his peers in the Philippines.
Ang Kayukok 1931-2005 seated figure signed and dated 1984, Roses Alfredo R. Kayukok, Deconstructing Despair, Finale Art Gallery, Mandaluyong City. The seated figure is one of the most classic series. This one is more sinuous, however, as the figure curls in the fetal position. His legs are down to his chest and head bound. He is dreaming his sleep of innocence or protecting himself from despair. Has he chosen to be unaware, or are his senses doubly heightened? The oversized hand and feet, however, hint and strength and power, but are depicted here as control and quiet. Ang Kayukok, as usual, is a master of such contrast. Ang Kayukok 1931-2005 seated figure signed and dated 1984, Roses Alfredo R. Kayukok, Deconstructing Despair, Finale Art Gallery, Mandaluyong City. The seated figure is one of the most classic series. This one is more sinuous, however, as the figure curls in the fetal position. His legs are down to his chest and head bound. He is dreaming his sleep of innocence or protecting himself from despair. Has he chosen to be unaware, or are his senses doubly heightened? The oversized hand and feet, however, hint and strength and power, but are depicted here as control and quiet. Ang Kayukok, as usual, is a master of such contrast.
My artist is Vincent Banjo, painting, base with 15 sunflowers. Sunflowers is the title of two series of still life paintings by the Dutch painter Vincent Banjo. The first series, excited in Paris in 1887, depicts the flowers lying on the ground, while the second set, made a year later in a Arles show, a bouquet of sunflowers in a vase. He expresses himself by all kinds of flowers posture in still life. Based with 15 sunflowers, sometimes he even compares himself to the sunflower. He is a typically representation of extreme individualized artist. He attached more importance to his feelings about things, but not the visual image he seems. My artist is Fernando Amorsolo. Paintings, Painting Rise with Mayon Volcano. The painter Fernando Amorsolo, 1892-1972, was a dominant figure in the visual art of the Philippines. During decades before the Second World War and into the post-war period, his oeuvre is characterized by scenes of the Filipino countryside, harmoniously composed and richly colored, saturated with bright sunlight, and populated by beautiful, happy people. It is an art of a beauty in the Philippines to this day.
Vincent van Gogh, he made Starry Night painting is one of the most recognized pieces of art in the world. And it is a magnificent pieces of art that Starry Night resonates with so many people is a testament to how its beauty is timeless and universal. Quality is perhaps the most controversial painting of Juanina because of its contested history, while many believe that the subject was inspired because other contradict those ideas as the anatomical depiction do not fit her physical description. The painting said having experienced similar crimes of passion after acquiring, and there is a dark and heavy tragedy elegantly attached to Luna's portrait of a lady, and it has something to do with the artist's temperance toward his wife, Maria de la Paz Pardo de la Tavera, who penetrated in the woman in the painting.
Guillermo Estrella Tolentino represented the National Artist Award for sculpture in 1973. He is considered as the father of Philippines art because of its great works like the famous Bonifacio Monument, symbolizing Filipinos' pride for freedom. Located in interaction of EDSA and Rizal, and acknowledged as his masterpiece and completed in 1933, the Bonifacio Monument in Caloocan stands as an enduring symbol of the Filipino pride for freedom.